What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about the 2-inch lift block kit that I have on the back of my 2018 Chevy Silverado. Now, I wish it was warm like it was in that B-roll clip that you just saw, but it's cold, so I'm going to stay in my nice warm cab of my truck, drinking my nice and warm, overpriced Starbucks coffee. And talking to you guys about my truck. Now, for those of you who are new, when I first started my truck build, I installed a 2.5-inch Motofab leveling kit on the front end of this truck, thus leveling the truck 100% mathematically, and I thought it was awesome. But something just wasn't sitting right with me for the first couple weeks I had it on, and I kind of figured it out finally. The truck was too level. It was way too level. I didn't like the way it sat. Sometimes from the naked eye, I came out of like a store or something, and I felt like my truck was like squatting in the rear, you know, having that Cali lean, and that's just not my style. I'm not about that. And then once I started putting stuff in the bed and hooking up a trailer and stuff to it, it really squatted in the back. And I didn't like the way it looked, nor did I like how it drove. The front end of my truck was way higher than the rear, and it just felt super uncomfortable. So I went on Motofab's website, and then I picked up the 2-inch block kit in the rear. Now, I get a lot of questions about the, purchasing block kits. So let me go over it real quick. Now, I ordered a 2-inch block kit. Now, my 2-inch block kit did not come 2 inches. It was not a 2-inch block, and your 3-inch block kit will not be 3 inches. And the reason for that is because, at least for the Chevy, the GMC trucks, you have a factory 1-inch block, above the axle underneath the leaf springs from the factory. And what some people do to actually reverse level their truck, to make the ass end squat a little bit, is they will take that factory block out, lowering the back of your truck. So when you order a block kit from somewhere, at least Motofab, it does say on their website, this block kit is not a 1-to-1 ratio, meaning your 2-inch block is not going to be 2 inches. And so it kind of turns out to be like, and I'll show you here in this clip, my 2-inch block kit was really about 3 inches because it has to accommodate for that 1-inch block that you take out to replace with your new and improved 2-inch block, because you never want to stack blocks on top of blocks. That is unsafe and very unrecommended by anybody. I hope that makes sense. When you buy like a 1-inch block kit, your block kit's actually going to be like 2 inches because you're taking your factory 1-inch block out and replacing it to give you a lift. So I purchased this 2-inch block kit and installed it. And by the way, all of my installation videos, the front and the rear, and the review that I have on the front so far, they will be linked in the description below, as well as they will be in the end screen of this video that you could just kind of click on and go watch. I definitely recommend it if you're looking to do, these mods to your truck. So I installed this about 6 months ago and about 8,000 miles ago, and I've hauled things with it. I've had a car trailer and a Jeep Grand Cherokee attached. I had a 6x12 U-Haul enclosed trailer with furniture and stuff in there. And then I also hauled an 8x24 foot long enclosed trailer with, household belongings in there as well. And to be honest with you, the truck felt super, super stable, reliable. I didn't have any issues with it. Once again, like I said, I have about 8,000 miles on the block kit in the rear. I have no creaks, no squeaks, no squeals, no driveline vibrations, nothing. It's been pretty solid. I'm very, very happy with the quality of these blocks. Now, after I did install it, I drove it around a couple hundred miles, let everything settle in, and then I did go back underneath, re-torque everything, making sure it's nice and tight. In general, everything feels pretty solid, and I love the way the truck now sits. And speaking of, I do get this question a lot as well, and I'm sorry if I haven't answered you recently. It's just been so cold. I just want to get inside from my truck, vice versa, but now it's on my mind. I will measure. All right, the rear of this truck sits about 40 inches and 3/4 in the rear. And it sits about 39 inches, basically even in the front. And that is with my factory wheels and tires, 265/65 on the 18s. And so that's about 1.75 inches height difference from the rear. So I got about 1.75 inches of rake in the rear. And when I put my aftermarket wheels and tires back on, the 33 1250s on a 20-inch wheel, it does lift my truck about another inch, taller. Now, the only thing I have not done yet is replace the rear shocks of this truck. Now, this block kit did not come with rear shocks. If you order like an actual lift kit from Rough Country, Zone, whatever, most likely it will come with aftermarket shocks that will fit your lift. So what's happening right now is I lifted the rear end of my truck 2 more inches. My factory shocks, you know, that are normally like this are now like this. Like there's no more play. They're overextended. Sorry about the bad illustration. This is the best way I know how to do it. You can buy factory shock, you know, extensions that will either attach to the top or the bottom, thus, you know, equaling out your shocks again, so you have your place. But so right now mine are sitting like this. When I put like a big load or something in the truck, or when I'm hauling, it does, you know, I do have compression. But like right now with my truck bed being completely empty, they're kind of like overextended. So every once in a while, if you hit like a really, really big bump that your suspension needs to flex on, or if you are doing a little bit of off-roading, you will kind of hear like the shock kind of hit, because it is overextending, and it's not allowing your axle to kind of like drop as far as it would if you actually had more play in your shocks. So I'm actually coming to you guys for this because I've been unable to find like a shock that I really want to run with this kit. So this is just a LT trim truck. There's nothing special on it. The only thing you get from GM if you get the Z71 off-road package is you will get like a beefier Rancho shock, and I have been able to find Rancho shocks that accommodate for a 2-inch lift. But once again, that's kind of factory. I wanted to run something really nice like a Bilstein or something. Now, I know I could go run like a King or like a Fox shock, but I don't really have $1,500 that I want to spend on shocks right now. And once again, I'm keeping this truck kind of relatable to like the average Joe with a family who wants to kind of like do some mods to his or her truck. So like I didn't want to go spend $1,500 for a set of shocks. I wanted to be, you know, somewhat reasonable with it. So I like a Bilstein. I love Bilstein shocks. The quality of them are great, but I'm either finding them with like factory ride height or like a 5-inch lift. I haven't been able to find them in between. So I have been able to find, you know, like Ready Lift, Zone, and Skyjacker in like a 2-inch lift configuration. But once again, I feel like they're kind of like, shocks. Maybe I'm overlooking it. I don't know. So my question to you guys is like, for those of you who have also run this kit or replaced your shocks and know a little bit more about shocks than maybe I do, is what kind of shock do you think I should run to accommodate this 2-inch lift here? Should I just like, you know, go out and buy the Zone shocks? I mean, they're super cheap. They're only like 50 bucks each, like $100 a pair. But anyway, I wanted to get a 2-inch longer shock that's going to, you know, give me more play, and I wanted to get something more beefy, so that way it might be able to accommodate like a little bit heavier load in the rear, not sag so much. So I know I could run helper springs, but I'm really not looking to go that route right now. I just kind of want to beef up the shocks a little bit. So, you know, let me know in the comments what kind of shocks would you guys like to see me run maybe, and, you know, try out, because I'd like to do an installation video of new shocks, and then, you know, also give you guys a review of, you know, kind of how they are. With all that being said, I guess that's kind of all I got for you guys today. I keep saying it, but please stay tuned for warmer weather. I am going to be starting to order parts here soon. And once the weather kind of breaks, I'll be start doing installs again. Truck Meet Daytona is in June. That's only like 4 more months. So like, I have a lot of things to get done to this truck before Truck Week hits. I need to get started on that ASAP. So for today, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Please like the video if you have not liked it already. Subscribe if you're not a part of the family yet. Join the family, join the build, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.